All right, so welcome, guys. Welcome to our call. This is our final call of the year, and then you are off to have a nice end to your holiday. You know, enjoy your holiday and take a little time, and then we'll meet back in January. So if any of you are new, welcome to our Team Smash. And we are excited to have you here. Tonight we have a special guest, so I don't want to waste any time. I want to let her get started, and she is happy to answer any questions if you have them. You can type them in the chat, and we'll get to those after she shares her story. So this is Leslie Kortes. I got to meet Leslie. I think I met you officially at Summit. This year, we went to see...
It was the cruise.
I met you on the cruise. Yes, I met you on the cruise. That's right. We were at the elite party. All I know is it's all time being elite. That's what I know.
Yes.
We were going up, and we were trying to find the elite party at the on the boat, because we were up in a thing overlooking the whole cruise ship for our elite party. And then we went to... CEO, is that what it's called? In Las Vegas. And then most recently we were at Leadership, and we had dinner together at the Paris dinner night. And I got to meet her husband, and she got to meet Hal. And we had a fun dinner together. So anyway, so this is Leslie. She's an 11-star Diamond Elite coach. She is a Success Club 10 legend with 31 months in Success Club, and she will be going on 4 years as a coach coming up in February. And she has a breakdown of how, you know, her business moved, and I was going to let her share that through her story, and then we're going to attempt to show you, she made an income progression chart. Is that what it's called? Yeah, income progression.
Sure.
From when she started to what, you know, to where she is today. And we're going to attempt to show you that in the midst of it. So with that being said, we are super excited to have you here tonight. Go ahead and share with make sure that.
Yeah, so hi guys.
Oops.
Am I here?
Yeah, you're here. Sorry.
Okay, sorry. Thanks. Thanks for having me on tonight. I always love to talk to other teams, especially this time of year, which might seem like the hardest part of the year. But that takes me back actually about 4 years ago. I was a stay-at-home mom with 2 little girls, Audrey and Finley, and I was literally like this stay-at-home mom who had lost her identity. And I said to my husband, I was like, I'm going to do something. I just don't know what. I was just sick and tired of being sick and tired. So I decided I was going to do something about it. But I really wasn't the girl who felt comfortable like marching into a gym and like getting in the weight room or taking all the classes. So I decided with a little baby still at home that I was going to do a workout program. And I like totally checked out the DVDs at Target. And then someone just mentioned Beachbody to me. So I literally went to the Beachbody site and like checked out the comparison chart. And I decided that Chalene Extreme was the program I was going to start with. But at the time, like I said, I was a stay-at-home mom. I didn't have the money to buy the program. So I saved up all of my Christmas money and purchased it on December 26th of 2010. I got it in time, started on January 1 of 2011, did my first workout, nearly died, and just said, I'm just going to keep going. I'm never going to stop. And I was about a month in, and I decided to try Shakeology. I actually just got like a sample pack from my coach, tried Shakeology, loved it because it was chocolate, and decided to purchase Shakeology about a week later. At the time, again, put it on a credit card, couldn't really afford it, but it was like I wanted the results more than I wanted the excuses type thing. So I was just willing to justify it. And I love Shakeology. I had people asking me about what I was doing because already, like, instinctually, I was barely on Facebook as a stay-at-home mom. I used to post every other day only about my kids, and my profile picture was my children. But I just started posting about what I was doing. And at the end of my 30 days, I posted something about how I'd lost, 7 pounds and 9 inches. And I immediately had people saying, like, what are you doing? And I had a bunch of my girlfriends messaging me, and I thought, well, I could refer them all over to my coach, or maybe I should sign up. So I listened to a webinar to learn more about coaching and just to kind of see what I thought. And then I started stalking, for lack of a better term, other Beachbody coaches on Facebook. And I just kind of liked what it was all about. I liked the vibe, and everyone was so positive and friendly and helpful. And it didn't feel overtly salesy, which is what I was probably most scared of. So I just decided to go for it. On a Tuesday afternoon in February, I signed up to become a coach, didn't tell my husband because it was $40, and got to work. I had a little website, and I could talk to all my girlfriends about what I was doing. And I had my first 2 sales by the end of that day. And a week later, when I got my first paycheck, I told my husband, I was like, so, I kind of signed up to be this Beachbody coach. Jeff, being the great husband he was, he's like, yeah, do whatever you want to do, honey. If it makes you happy, that's fine. And at the time, I told him I was my goal is just to make $100 a week. Just $100 a week. I'm going to help us out with the grocery bill, and it's going to pay for my Shakeology, and I'm going to get a discount. And he was like, yeah, it's cool, whatever you want to do. Then I took off with it. So, and it wasn't fast, but I just fell in love with the business and just jumped in. I had no idea what I was doing. 4 years ago, we didn't have challenge packs. The only way you could earn Success Club was by selling Shakeology and signing up coaches. You had to sign up a coach every month in order to hit Success Club. So I never hit Success Club in the beginning because I didn't become an Emerald coach for 5 months in the business. I talked to 1 million people, and everyone told me no. I was reading The Compound Effect, and I was doing my workouts, and I was so inspired, and my Facebook page was crickets. If you go and look back, it's really funny. Some of my posts would get 2 likes, and it would be my best friend and my other friend, or best friend and my coach. It was pathetic. But I never stopped. I never let all of that, time that passed by and becoming an Emerald coach, or just all the people telling me no, or I just was so motivated by my own journey. I just never stopped. So when I finally hit Emerald, those 5 months later, I was so stoked. I had no idea, I didn't understand Team Cycle bonus, nothing. I was free customer leads, and I earned $14 extra that week. Really, at that point, the large majority of my paycheck was from retailing, from selling. Everything from programs to, Shakeology to supplements. I sold, and that's typically, if my paychecks were $200 or $300, it was because I was retailing. But my team slowly grew. I kind of started to figure out what worked, and all of that time that I had invested in just putting myself out there in the fitness posts and the recipes, and it started to pay off. I started to have people come to me all the time. I started to have people want to join my team, even though I still kind of had no idea what I was doing. I just really started to create this little itty bitty brand that other stay-at-home moms and women could relate to. So I kind of ran with it. And so, of course, my next goal was Diamond. Once I hit that $100 a week mark. I kind of got up into that $250, $500 range. And really consistently, maybe by summit of 2012, I was like in the 350 to 500. And that was a huge goal for me. $500 a week was like, whoa, like I might never have to go back to work. That was my biggest fear, that I was going to have to go back to this marketing job, that, I was going to have to go back into marketing. And when I was in marketing, I made $29,000 a year. And I didn't love the thought of being away from my girls and my husband and just trying to do all of that. So that's when it really kind of became real for me. And I had just previously hit diamond. So it took me over a year to hit diamond, like 15 months. So I was diamond at that summit, but I was one of the, I was a diamond making $350 to $500 a week, because I was retailing my butt off. I was selling. And it still really hadn't clicked with me, like that building a team, like helping your coaches do what you do. But I slowly figured it out, like kind of like what worked. And I definitely, like I kept recruiting. So I had started to grow this team, and I was one of those diamond coaches that, like, I didn't have 8 coaches and 2 emeralds. I had like 24 coaches. And once I could get 2 emeralds, they really other coaches were like, hey, well, I want to be emerald. It started to catch fire. So I finally had a big enough team as I kept recruiting that some of my coaches started to want what I had, a bigger paycheck, or to become a diamond coach, or to lead a team of their own, to help more people. So I had a couple of coaches that were really excited to run towards diamond. I did a little push group the next year, and really kind of just like helped with them. And it was crazy because I literally went from like diamond to 7-star in the span of about 5 months. And that happened last year. And it's just kind of crazy to me, like how it's kind of like had this upward projection, just because I've been consistent, and I've consistently like set new goals for myself in terms of coaches to sign and people to help. And, for me, I can probably tell you that setting that Success Club 10 non-negotiable goal for myself was a game changer. It just took my business to a whole new level. It wasn't 5 or 6 points anymore and just kind of like skating by. I was committing to a lot more, and it took my business definitely up a notch. I don't know if you have that picture, if you want to show that picture, Lindsay, but this is probably the right time, right?
Okay, let me try this. Let's see if I can do this right.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so these are volume totals.
Oh, we want me to put the other one up?
No, that's fine. I think it's kind of interesting to see. So this this compares like, the end of the year to the beginning of the year, and like that surge you can have if you're just consistent, like how from, October, December 2013 to January, March, like how that can just shift when your team takes off in the new year. And even if you compare October, December 2013 to where I'm at October, December of 2014, the numbers have just like grown exponentially. And I mean, that's what always makes me so excited for a new year, is just what can happen on your team. Like, people get so excited and fired up. It's really fun. And just so y'all know, like, I'm in a position where no one builds below me. It's me. So
I'm going to see if I can.
I don't have power legs. They're pretty even.
Oops, that's not what I want. Okay, hang on.
Are you for the other one?
The other one. One second. Nope, that's not it. Oh, there we go.
Oh, you found it? Otherwise, I was going to go look.
I have it. It keeps popping up something else. So hang on one second. There we go. Me and technology. So
there it is.
So
yeah, so this you, and it's not on here, and I told Lindsay that, but my 2011 earnings were like $6,000. So that was part of the equation. I was really trying to illustrate a different point with this photo, but it kind of just shows you like the growth this business can have if like you just keep at it. And I'm definitely, not the fastest. There are coaches in this business that are earning huge incomes in a year to 3 years. It's taken me almost 4 years to build what I have, but I definitely wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. So I don't know if to me, I used to love that kind of stuff when I was like this new coach, like dreaming about making $1,000 a week. Just was like, to see people like being able to like make a real income of this, just seemed like sometimes it didn't even seem real because I didn't know anyone personally that had done it. So it's kind of fun.
Pretty cool, huh? Okay. All
right. So I've kind of got like a whole little like push through the rest of the year for you guys. And I think right now is one of the most pivotal points in your business. It's really easy to just like close your laptop, turn off your phone, check out, be like, I'm going to barely post on Facebook. No one's around anyway, and check out. But I was having this conversation with my team the other day, and I said the one thing I feel like I see right now more than ever is like skinny wraps, fiber pills, quick fixes, you name it. I am seeing that stuff nonstop in my newsfeed right now. And if you guys go away, if you turn off right now, at the start of the year or on the day after Christmas, when everyone's got their Christmas money, I want them to think about you and what you're doing and how you're staying consistent right now and sharing about Max 30 or whatever workout you're doing or drinking Shakeology before your holiday party or whatever it is. I think it's so important to not only share your whole life, but throw a little health and fitness in there. Have a little fun with it. And I just think if we can, and that's actually tip number 1, turn up the noise right now, people are going to be more and more inspired by what you're doing now and into the new year, into January, February, March, those pivotal months when people are thinking about New Year's resolutions, spring break, and summer. But, you've got to stay consistent now. Post, talk it up. You can save Santa. You can do Max 30, whatever it is. Just dig in and share about it. One of the coaches on my team, she was announced on the national call on Monday for top challenge pack sales and top success club in the past week. And everyone in the team was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What's the secret? What are you doing? And she's like, I'm just posting and sharing my results. That's it. And that's it for you guys too. Whether you're getting a bunch of no's right now or not, doesn't matter. Keep a list. They will be back. They're always back. All right, number 2 is just to stay consistent in your posting. It's a really busy time of year. I will tell you guys that when I know I'm going to be out of the house, I make a list of posts that I know I need to get up, and I take them with me. In fact, I typically create them as a note in my phone, or I send them to myself as a text from my computer so that I have the photo and I have exactly what I'm going to say so I can quickly post it like from the mall or my daughter's school party and not miss a thing. And I'm not too picky about the time that I post on my personal page, but I typically post 3 times a day. And if I know that I'm going to be out and about the whole day, I pre-plan that stuff. For me, it's like I'll like have my little Shakeology cup. So I might like take a picture, like a water reminder, whatever it is. You know, even if I'm out shopping, sometimes it's just asking a question or engaging people, but staying consistent right now on social media is huge. This is where we build our business. So definitely don't stop. And then the third tip is to have a plan, have a calendar. And this is huge on my team page. I create a monthly team calendar for them every month, but it details everything that we're up to as a team. But I would encourage you all to take that a step further and put all of that plus your important stuff in your iCalendar, in your phone, if you use a planner, whatever it is. Like schedule out your life. Don't miss BizOp calls. Don't miss webinars. Hop on the national call. I'll be on the national call for the next 2 weeks, even though we're right in the midst of the holidays. When is your challenge group starting? And when is your promotional period for that challenge group? Like, when are you going to post about your challenge group? I typically encourage my coaches to post about it. Maybe they're creating an event. You can really start to schedule that stuff out so that when you look at your planner, you look at your phone, you notice a day from now or 2 days from now, you actually need to get a post together to start talking about your New Year's challenge beginning on January 5th. You have a little bit of like forethought about what you want to post, what you want it to look like. And it gives you a little time to maybe search Facebook. Go look at what Lindsay's recently posted. Go look at what some of your other teammates are doing and get some ideas for your picture, for your posts. I just think that's the smartest way to do it, because now you can post a challenge group event or a post on the fly without necessarily having to be tied to your computer when it's really busy and you're like your grandma's house, right? So having a plan this month and into the new year is so important. I'll tell you guys, most of us have groups starting on January 5th. That's a Monday. That's typically when I start my groups. But we're using right now to promote and post and, talk about our groups. But especially, I mean, for me, last year, December 26th was crazy. And I've already just kind of like marked off a couple hours on the 26th because I literally did one post and had like 40 responses of people who were interested and wanted info in my upcoming challenge group, because now they were ready to commit with like a pocket full of Christmas cash and the new year coming. They were like, all right, let's do this. What you got for me? So it really can pay off. Okay. So your action steps to kind of help you hit those goals. Number one is to add more people. I don't know if you guys took the idea that Allie had from the national call, but to create a 12 days, I called mine 12 days of fitness. And I opened it up to everyone. It's a free group. I'm running it for 12 days. And I have like 60 plus new women in the group that I got to meet. And we are hanging out, talking about workouts, clean eating, workout ideas, just fun stuff. We're just having fun. I mean, they're also talking about the hard stuff too, what they're struggling with, what they're buying their husband for Christmas. We're just connecting and relating, and I'm building relationships. And that's really the point of all of my free groups, is to be able to add people and build relationships. But you can do a free group for anything. You could do a free clean eating group right after Christmas. You could do something now. Let's just say you couldn't run a group just from Wednesday to Wednesday or Wednesday to next Tuesday. Do 7 days. But it's a great way to be able to connect with people, and not only just invite your friends, but and have them invite their friends, or look outside the box, maybe posting it in a Facebook group or something, to meet new people. That's typically for me, adding new people. And then send out samples. this is an amazing time to send out samples. I did a post last week. I took a little Shakeology packet, tied it up with a red ribbon, and said that I had Shakeology samples for Christmas gifts. That was my Christmas gift to them, was letting them try Shakeology. And I typically don't just do free samples, but I had quite a bit extra, and it was a good way to get it into the hands of a lot of people that I've been talking to. And then I also always typically have little 3 or 5 packs that people can purchase. It's a good time. Let them try it now. And typically when January rolls around or the end of December rolls around, they're ready to purchase. And definitely track it, follow up with these people, and be consistent in what you're doing. But I use Google Drive just to kind of track. I have a little Shakeology sample list, whoever's gotten samples, so that I can always make sure to follow back up or, chat with them in the future about, how Shakeology could help them. And then the last one I have for you is to create buzz and hype around your New Year's group. So if you're running it as an event, I would tell you to post in there 2 to 3 times a day. You can post to your event wall, and all of the people that you've invited to the event get those notifications, especially if they said they're going. Otherwise, it shows up in their news feed. You can talk about maybe prize giveaways you're going to do in the new year. Sometimes they do just, $10 iTunes gift cards, or, fun, little Nike workout gloves or a headband I might pick up, just fun stuff. And I always lead with urgency. So know your order deadline. I basically know that if my group is going to start on January 5th, people are going to need to order at the absolute latest by the 26th or 27th to get all of their product in time to start on the 5th. So I'm really upfront about that, and I typically market it. I've only got 10 spots. And if a few of those spots go, I typically will do a follow-up post a couple of days later saying, I've only got 4 spots left, message me tonight if you're interested. And typically the inbox fills right up. You might get a bunch of no's out of that, but that's okay. You can handle those objections, chat with them, and they will be back, especially if they know that you care. You're just addressing their problems and their concerns and their hesitations, because most people that do have hesitations are just looking for you to handle them. They want you to share your knowledge and expertise with them on why this is perfect for them. So those are kind of my 3 action steps that you guys can go out and implement tonight or tomorrow and get your biz jumping through the new year. Did I miss anything?
No, that was awesome. Thank you. I love all these different ideas. My birthday was Sunday, so I did samples, instead of me taking gifts, I'll give you gifts, and kind of switched that out, and that worked really well. That's great. And I think it's also great. I was going to ask you, so the one thing I said to them I made a video and told them this week that the past 2 years I would hit Success Club in this month, and then I'd just kind of be like, all right, holiday time. And I didn't.
No.
Right. I didn't I remember the first year I struggled in January. It was an absolute struggle. And it was because I didn't prep in, this time right now. And I think last year I was more prepped for it. I think I was doing more, but I wasn't where I'm at today. And so I was going to ask you, I didn't even think about it. This year my brain is on it, maybe because of the twins. And maybe I was in a fog or something. But the 26th is a Friday. Will you be making a post that day for a challenge group? Because the 25th is Thursday.
Yep,
Make a
I
post
will on Friday. it's like everyone ate all that food on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. They're sitting around. Some people go out shopping, but a lot of people like stay home. They're still with family. And guess what? We're all scrolling our darn phones, sitting on the couch. And I actually posted on my like page and my personal page last year. That last year was the first year that I actually had a like page. So I used both of those to post and just kind of like drum up some interest. And I had a really big response. And I literally like sat at my in-laws by the fire and like messaged people back. So, and for me, even if they tell me no, there might be a yes in January or February.
Right.
And that's okay. It's just, honestly, it's kind of a numbers game. The more people you talk to, you're going to eventually get a yes.
Yeah. And you do most of your stuff is through your Facebook like page, right?
I do both.
Okay.
I definitely do both. I aim to bring people over to my personal page just to like, get to know me a little bit more. Now I can interact with them more. But that's typically how I end up finding my challengers and my coaches. At this point, I mean, I'm 4 years in. Warm market, kind of gone.
Yeah. So I remember you did a call about how to do the ads, and I started running ads, and it's been cool. I finally found one that like works.
Good.
So yeah, I was wondering if you're still, or do you do like Instagram or anything like that? Or are you all Facebook?
I do Instagram. I have an assistant who helps me with Instagram, and he is remote. His name is Abdul, and he lives in Bangladesh. But we talk on Facebook all the time, and he actually helps me with my Instagram. He does all of like my finding and liking and all that kind of stuff. So that is like his job. My job is to like post and message people back. And that seems to work out really well. It's just one of those things I found that Instagram can like suck you in if you let it.
Yep.
And for me, I really felt for a while that I needed to be good at one thing before I tried to venture out. Like I said, I started my like page last January. So I've had it for almost 2 years. And it was one of those things where I just had like this new baby like page, and I kind of was like overwhelmed by ads and posting and all this stuff. So I definitely felt like now that I've like got my groove there, I could spend more time on Instagram. And I have a blog too, but I suck at that. You want to be honest.
I saw your coach Anita did a video on like, she was like, I mastered this and then I mastered this and now I'm on Instagram and now I'm on the blog, and she's just like mastering the like page and then the groups, and she did a great video on that she had shared. Yep. And she's really mastered.
Yeah, it's true. And for me, I started with Facebook groups, and I think a lot of my coaches did too. I started out on MyFitnessPal. So, I mean, and that's where I started my journey before I was ever with Beachbody. So there was a point where I had more friends on MyFitnessPal following my journey than I did on Facebook. So it felt really natural for me to be in a group setting, talking to people about health, fitness, nutrition, just friendly. But like being a full-time mom and running this business at home, just time became of the essence. And so it was really hard for me to be in two places at once. So I still have a MyFitnessPal account, and I do go over there on occasion. But the majority of my business is now on Facebook, and that's really, truly why I started the like page. I had joined a bunch of groups on Facebook. Like, I just looked for things that I was interested in. So, like, for example, I joined like a meal planning moms group. And I mean, I would just share recipes and be a part of their community. But, maybe I'd been in the group like a week or two, and I just said, does anyone else here eat clean? Would you like to share meal plans? And there were like instantly like 8 or 9 women who were like, yes, totally interested. I eat clean, or I want to start eating, healthier, whatever. So I was like, great, we should all friend each other and start chatting. We all friended each other. I started like a little group chat for all of us. And it wasn't like, hey, Beachbody coach, that would be a turnoff. But I just started like chatting with them, right? Like commenting on their kids' pictures and like taking an interest in their life and liking their photos and like paying them compliments and just learning about them and meal plans and talking about healthy eating. And guess what? Because I was interacting with them more, they were interacting with me more. They're seeing more of my stuff in their news feed. So I don't have to like go waving my Beachbody flag. Like, what's this girl up to? They're seeing me like post and workout shoes and workouts and, protein bars. Like, what is this all about? I will tell you that I like think 7 of those girls became challengers and 1 of them became a coach. And it wasn't like the week later, but like over the course of that year, it was worth taking the time to develop those friendships, because they definitely, they're still friends on Facebook. So I think it's one of those things that if you're consistent in doing that, just being a part of a group, to be a part of a group, not to like troll around and like market Beachbody, people will love you for that. No one is going to delete the friend that comments and likes on their pictures and gives them compliments. They're just not.
I was going to also ask you, do you balance between posting for groups and doing like invites every day?
So my days in posting in Facebook groups are really kind of like non-existent at this point. It's really why I went to the like page, because I'm just able to connect with more people. But yeah, as far as inviting, it's typically, I keep a running list of people that I've added. And so I'm just looking to like always start a new conversation or just follow up. Like I've got all these new women in this 12 days of fitness group. So I just have a list of all of them, and I just try and get through a couple, well, there's 60 of them, so I'm trying to get through like 10 a day. But just like, I'm so excited you're in the group. Can you tell me a little bit more about your health and fitness goals? And all of a sudden it's like I got 4 paragraphs back about their whole life.
Yep.
So it's kind of fun to like get to know them and spend a little bit of time like chatting with them, and you never know where to lead.
Yeah. Okay. Does anyone have any questions? I think I've asked some for you guys that probably was great. I probably could ask more, but I'm just gonna open it up and just,
Sure.
if you guys want to type it out, any questions you may have, or if you're all good, or I can unmute. Oops. Let's see. You all are quiet tonight.
I answered it all, huh? I'm shocked.
Okay, everyone. So, here we go. Katie.
I can't read all of it. Hold on. Oh, yeah. What is your biggest tip to getting people talking in either challenge groups or free groups? I'll tell you, my current challenge group that's running right now feels a little quiet. We're all doing the 21-day fix, December 1 through 21, and I kind of think they stopped doing their workouts or eating out of their containers. They all like, shh, don't tell her. But honestly, for me, sometimes it's making a little video or just being honest with them and letting them know that like I am so not perfect. Like I so had a latte this morning and it didn't fit in my container and I ate it with a Christmas cookie. Like that is just real life. And I think sometimes they think that like we're perfect or like that we've got all this fitness stuff figured out. And I mean, to me, at the end of the day, I'm just looking to be like the girlfriend they can talk to. So I think, and I really try to come at it from like, I'm in this with you guys. Like, I'm doing this too. Like, I'm always going to be working on my journey. I was never the girl who's like always been easily thin. I like cookies, I like cake, and I like donuts. As you can see, I like sugar and carbs. I cannot have that all the time, but I like it. And that craving is real. And that's a normal feeling for me. And like, I tell you, when I talk to these girls or like, you know, on Friday night, forget Flex Friday. My girls in my challenge group like to share a picture of their wine glass. Whatever. It just gets them like back in the habit of like having fun. That's really what this is supposed to be about. And for me, I think the best thing I've told them to do at the start of the challenge group is to friend each other. And I mean, I typically only have women and moms in my groups. So they all love friending each other. And now for me, even seeing them like a year or two later, like they're all still friends on Facebook, like commenting on each other's posts and like tagging me and stuff. So I just am like looking to make this community because I think at least for women, that journey to better health and fitness is continual. Like it will never stop. It wasn't like, oh, I did P90X and I got like super fit and now I'm done. Oh no, I gotta work at it. Like I still have cravings. I'm still a real person. I have 2 kids. I need to drink wine. And I think if you can just be open and honest about that, your challengers will relate to you a lot more than like mega fitness person. And then free groups, for me, I find I have a better mix of people chatting the bigger the group is. So I do not put size caps on free groups. My current one right now, like I said, is 60 people, and I cannot keep up with it. They're like checking in on workouts and whatever they ate and how they're trying to burn it off. I mean, the idea is just to build relationships. So I'm just kind of letting them go for it. Last month, I ran an emotional eaters group, and there were 230 women in there. So to just give you an idea of what those daily check-ins look like, I maybe had 60 to 70 women commenting out of 230. So again, I just think it's a little bit of a numbers thing. You're going to get tons of people who just sit back and watch, and then you're going to get people who want to step up and participate. And I said there was no right or wrong for that. You know, they could just observe if they wanted, and I think a lot did. And I have done the whole like points thing. You check in on this post, check in on that post, you get a point. But I'm really bad at counting points, like really bad. And I've made my assistant do it before, but really it's not my thing. Like I shouldn't have to like give you a point to get you to check in on the group. Like you said you want to change your life, you need to show up. Okay. Was there a time I ever wanted to quit? I will tell you there was a time in the beginning of my business that I wasn't sure what I wanted. Like I kind of wanted to be a Beachbody coach, but like my paycheck was only $82. And then like there was a week where I wouldn't get a paycheck. Where I felt like I was trying to do all this work and nothing was working, like in that journey to Emerald. So personal development and my own workouts were big back then, because I think the biggest thing for me, and I don't know that I was like ever like, screw this, I'm sending in my cancellation form. That wouldn't be me. I'm one of those people that like, I'd probably still be a coach, you guys, if I was like 4 years in and still like a diamond. I'd still be here. I'm just like a lifer in that regard, but I think I was so in love with the being able to work from home and make a little fun money and help other people that, that was good for me. So I think that's different for everyone. I was a stay-at-home mom, so like any money was awesome to me to help, like dig my family out of debt. How often do you post on your challenge groups? Oh, about your challenge group on your personal page and your like page? On my personal page, it depends. If I'm in a promotional period, like I've got to fill up a group by next Monday, I would probably post about it like tonight or tomorrow, for sure on Friday, because for some people that's a payday. I might hit Saturday at noon. It just seems to be a really odd time, but like a good time, and Sunday nights are big for me. And I typically, so I take all those times, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday at noon, Sunday evening, and I kind of mix them up. I'll go, all right, today's personal page, all right, tomorrow's like page. Just because I kind of have to balance them all coming in. If I posted them in all places at all times, I would be probably so inundated with responses I couldn't tackle it all. So, yeah, that's typically how I do it. And I mean, for me, Wednesday, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturday at noon for some reason, Sunday nights, even Monday. Monday seems to be even a popular day. Like, all right, I'm finally getting back on track. It's Monday. And it's like, this light shines down. Like shows up in their like news feed, and they're like, all right, this is a sign I should sign up for this challenge group. My favorite personal development book, I have a couple. GoPro is my favorite. I reread it like every quarter, like all the time. I read it twice on vacation last summer, just for fun. I also like Failing Forward. I like anything John Maxwell. I recently read Girl Boss. Really liked it. It was just kind of different. A good empowering book for just like sticking it out when it's tough. Let's see. I am reading The Legacy Journey, which is a Dave Ramsey finance book. And there was one other. The Compound Effect. I mean, this is like, you guys can see. It was on my desk. Compound Effect. GoPro. I've like always got them sitting here, and I've got like highlighted pages everywhere. Arnold Nakaha recently told me to pick up The Art of Exceptional Living, so I just got that. And I read like everything. I always have a stack, and for me, it might be something in network marketing, it might be something motivational, it might be something on leadership, it might be something on nutrition or emotional eating. And I just kind of like pick the book that day that I think is going to do me the most good. I don't know if you guys have realized, but if you don't really read a personal development book, like chapter by chapter, like you can kind of pick right back up where you left off in a personal development book, and you're good to go. So I like that, that I can listen to an audio one day and read a book the next. And I like Tony Robbins. I'll watch his stuff on YouTube. And I'm trying to think, who else do I like? I love John Maxwell. I think he's a great speaker. So anything like that, I'll listen or read. I do not boost posts. Typically, no. Maybe for like, if it's a text post that'll get approved really fast, then I would boost it just to get more eyes on it really fast. But typically, I do run ads for likes. I currently have an ad for likes going right now for $1 a day. And I did that on purpose because it was December, and I was like, I'm sick of spending money on Facebook. I hate you, Facebook. I just felt like my engagement was in the toilet, and I just thought, screw you, I don't care. And I went to $1 a day ads, and like I had a picture last week that got shared like 36 times and got 442 likes. I was like, I just give up. All right, I guess I'm running $1 a day ads. So I have a pretty good rate of return on that, which is something I look at. And I do have a video on YouTube about how I place my ads. But yeah, I run ads for likes. And so if I do, and this is only like once or twice a week, but if I post something about an upcoming challenge group and occasionally about coaching, I will boost the post. And I mean boost by, I will do a page post engagement. So if you go to facebook.com/ads and go into ad manager, you can do an ad for a post. It's called page post engagement. And they're just going to promote your post to people who like your page. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking to connect with the people that have already liked me, not their friends. And I find it's a good way to like get them back to my page if they haven't been there in a while. But that's typically what I do when I run something about a challenge group. And then I will set the ad. You can set it to spend $5 a day or $15 a day or $40 a day. So I had a bunch of coaches who were like setting it for, like $5 a day and running it for 2 days. But I like had this, and they were getting like a decent response, right? Like 22 people interested. So I just decided to like turn it all around. And instead of spending $5 a day, I was like, all right, screw it, like $50. Let's see what happens. So I ran my $50 page post engagement ad on a challenge group post. And within like 2 hours, I had 44 people interested in my challenge group. I had only spent like $4.72. So I killed my page post engagement ad, and I was like, and I'm done. I spent less money and I got a bigger response faster. So I think that's something to play around with too. And like, I am completely self-taught when it comes to Facebook ads. So it's like literally I have learned this all through trial and error. Do you find most of your coaches through challenge groups? I would say I'm about 50-50. I do find a lot of coaches through challenge groups, and I almost kind of like that better because they already like know and love Beachbody, even if they've only used it for a week. They're like, oh my God, I'm down 2 inches in my waist, or I feel amazing. And they are instantly feel like they have something to talk about. Like 21 Day Fix for me last year was huge. I ran a huge 21 Day Fix group. I had like 25 women in it. It was an amazing group. They're all still friends till this day. And like half of them are now on my team. And a couple of them are like working towards Diamond, and they're Success Club earners. So I feel like it's a really natural progression in the business, right? You can just instantly tell they're commenting and posting and liking everyone's stuff, and they start sharing their own motivational photos. And like, hey girl, have you ever considered doing what I do? You're basically running the challenge group for me. And I just start that conversation. But I do advertise the business as well, and I do that 2 ways. So on my like page, I will occasionally, not very often, maybe once a month, I will post about the business. And I will typically talk about my business starter kit, which is either the showcase pack or like say whatever special it is, like the max 30, I'd lay it all out all over the floor and take a cute picture of everything they get in their coach starter kit. And I do like a whole little post about everything they get. And then I would go run a page post engagement ad for it. And I would add all these people on Facebook and just start the conversation with them. Most don't have the money. It isn't what they thought. I might be interested. I've done insanity before. Oh, I bought T25 off eBay. I hear it all, right? But the whole point to me is to just like add them, build the relationship. They'll continue to follow me. They'll be back. And then on my personal page, of course, I'm adding all these people from, my like page. I run I'll put together, like typically I have a new coach internship starting the first Monday of every month. So I'll put together like a new coach internship post about, applying for a position, or have you ever thought about, because most of these people are kind of following me. We do business opportunity calls. So maybe they've listened to a call or they've been in a team open house. And the crazy thing is, like, I'll just randomly post about like my coach internship starting next Monday. If you're interested, drop me a message. Let's chat about if this might be right for you. There's something really casual, typically on my personal page. And I always get a message from someone that like never even crossed my mind. So you just never know. Like literally, I had a girl, when did she sign up? Beginning of November. And she literally told me, she was like, I always see your posts and you're so motivating, and I just figure I better try coaching. It's like, oh, okay. It just like came out of nowhere. And she's like, yeah, I think I want the PIO challenge pack that you posted about last month. And yeah, what do I need to do? And I was like, all right. Signed her up. She got her PIO challenge pack. She started posting every day about her workouts. She hit Success Club 6 last month. She's still killing it this month. And I'm like, so you just don't know. If you don't put it out there, you don't know. And for me, for so long, that was the part I was afraid of. Posting about challenge groups and posting about coaching. Because what if they told me no? Or what if they unfriended me because they didn't like my post? Or whatever. I've had it all happen. And at some point, I just like let that go. And as soon as I just seriously decided I wasn't going to care anymore about what anyone thought, like from my family who thought I was in a pyramid scheme, and from all my friends who were like, oh my God, there she is with Beachbody again. My business blew up. So it was just, I think it was honestly a personal like mindset for me. I do send personal invites. Yeah, for sure. Sometimes I use events just because I can invite a lot of people, but I typically get like my whole team going to the event. I'm like, great, you guys, awesome. But so yeah, personal invites. I typically keep a list of people that I've added, over the past couple of months. Maybe they're into health and fitness, or stay-at-home mom, whatever. I've learned a little bit more about them. Or they've liked some of my more fitness-related posts. I'll just say like, hey girl, I'm putting together a New Year's challenge group. Would you be interested in learning a little bit more? That's all I say. And then I wait for them to respond. And guess what? They're typically like, yes, I need to do something. What are the details? Again, don't know if you don't try. I used to like freak out about sending personal invites. What if they're saying no? And I typically, and I've had a couple of like people say, I'm worried I'm going to offend someone, right? Like I'm going to insult them. They need to lose weight. But phrase it as my upcoming health and fitness group. And I think to me, like, I don't care who you are. Health and fitness is for anyone. And I don't find that offensive at all. So, good.
Yeah, I think that was awesome. And you said you thought that, when you were showing your earnings, you took a huge jump this year.
I did, yeah.
You went from like $56,000 for the whole year in 2013 on up to projecting about $300,000 or so.
Yeah.
And that was because you stopped caring about what other people thought, and you also did Success Club 10 plus.
Yep. Success Club 10 last year for me was my non-negotiable. And then there's a couple of things there, and that's kind of what that photo was meant to illustrate. And it was a post, if you go back a ways, in my Facebook. But November of this year was the 2-year anniversary that my husband and I made a decision to go to church and dedicate our lives to Christ. And it was something I needed in my life. It was something we needed in our marriage. And it's sad that it took a really rough spot in our marriage to get us there. But at that time, 2 years ago, we didn't have the money to go to counseling. And so I literally looked at my husband and I was like, well, then we're going to church because the pastor is free. And we walked into church that November and we literally never walked back out. And I saw a huge shift in my business, the way I talked to people, the way I believed in myself and believed in others. And I started to just believe that anything was possible. For the first time in my life, I created dream boards and I put all kinds of crazy things on them that I wanted to do. And for me, it was just like this, I just felt like I became like a new person all over again. So that was kind of the reason in the illustration of that picture of like literally like that shift in my business. But also the huge change. Oh, there you go. You're putting it back. The huge change, I think it's a huge part of it, is I have 2 coaches on my team who are also, 10-star diamond elite coaches. So, we're all driving a lot of volume. They're big retailers and big recruiters. So they're both 28 years old. They're like young. And it's really fun because we have a lot in common, and we definitely all have that faith component is a part of our journey. And I think it's been really huge for the 3 of us to just kind of believe that we can do it. Why not? But yeah, just the non-negotiables. And for me, just the not caring probably came a little bit sooner in my business, but it was like, whatever, unfriend me, delete me. And I had to let that go. I mean, I lost, family members that unfriended me on Facebook. Like, I don't know. And you guys go check out my Facebook. I mean, it's some beach body, but like I post about my kids and my family and my crazy dogs and recipes. You gotta be who you are. No apologies.
Yeah, I was looking at it and I wanted to show it one more time while you were talking, because I was like, I think there might be a handful or more on this call that are in that position where they're like, is this ever, can I get there? And I just wanted them to see how much of a jump you can actually go and what a difference a year can make. And a year of going for Success Club, and of course having, elite coaches on your team is important. You want to have people in your, of course, going to the elite events is not fun when your team's not there, isn't it? Exactly. It's fun for us, but it's like
there.
You want so many people there with you. It's so much fun when your team's with you. So, I just wanted to kind of show that as you were, talking about. That was a huge shift. So you've had a huge year, which is exciting, and you're like in the top 30, top 20?
I'm 22 or 23 right now. I've been in the top 25 the whole year. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
So
that's exciting. So, and you're building a dream house. Yes.
Yep. We're building a house next year. So yeah, just all the stuff that was 10 years down the road. Someday we'll save up for that. Is happening now. It's really kind of cool. So wouldn't trade any part of the hard journey, right? The really hard stuff of losing the weight and learning along the way and making all these mistakes and everyone telling you no and whatever, all seems worth it now. So all the times that I was scared, now it's oh well, I'll just try it. What's the worst that can happen, right? It's a total mistake, total flop. All right.
Again. Yeah, I lost some family too, so you're definitely not alone in that one. A couple cousins and aunts and stuff were like, I'm over.
I don't know why, but I don't know. I always tell my diamonds too, because we have a little diamond group, and it's so funny to me because last year it was me and my 6 diamonds, and then like literally there are 54 diamonds on my team now. It's like nuts in 1 year. But they kind of like, they'll post in our little diamond page about like, oh my gosh, look at the message I got, or oh my gosh, look what someone posted on my page. And we just kind of all have this joke of like, when you finally get a hater, it means you've arrived. So they all kind of like post them like proud, like, boom, got my first hater.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's exciting. Well, it is a little bit after, so I don't want to keep you. I know you have family to get back to, and it is holiday time. So thank you so much for taking time to chat with us, giving us your tips for what to do in the next 2 weeks or last 2 weeks. You guys, her Facebook page is Real Fit Housewife.
Yes.
Like page.
And mostly because I like the Real Housewives of any county.
So you can go check her out. And thank you again, and I really appreciate you taking this time to be with us.
You bet.
I hope you guys all have a great night, and go follow Leslie and stop caring about others.
Like page is Real Fit Housewife.
Oh, I'll take it for you.
Yeah. And my last name is Kortes, Kortes.
Real Fit Housewife. And Leslie.
You'll find me.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys, for having me on. Have a good night.
Bye. You too. Bye. Have a good night.